Good morning. If you don't like the sound of your voice, then you're absolutely in the right place today. Good morning. My name is 𝐬𝐨𝐽𝐻. I'm a holistic voice and presentation coach. And today it's all about your voice. Now, the three biggest things that people struggle with are things that singers, actors, and speakers actually struggle with. There's three major things that I'm going to cover today. And one of them is scratchy voice, airy voice, and throaty voice. Now, if that doesn't make any sense to you, it will shortly. And the great news is that my course is just about to launch, and I'm going to give away 3 places in the voice transformation course today. So please stay tuned. See you in a sec. Good morning. It's all about 3 common issues to avoid today, because on my YouTube channel, this is the biggest thing that people struggle with. Now, here's the reason why voice issues are actually so important. Because they keep your mouth shut. If you don't like the way that you sound, if you don't feel comfortable in the way that you sound, eventually you're going to realize that people aren't listening to you. They're not engaging with you. They're not connecting with you. And that becomes a big problem for us as human beings. It doesn't matter whether you're a singer, actor, or a speaker. You have to have a voice. You deserve to have a voice. So this is why I called my book, for example, Find Your Voice. The 10 steps from anxiety to confidence for public speakers or all voice users. If you learn a little bit about your instrument, if you learn how to use it, how to finesse it, how to make sentences in a way that is interesting and engaging, then people will start to listen to you. And guess what happens then? You feel more confident. When you feel more confident, you start to act and look more confident, and then the world around you starts to change. The most incredible things happened to me when I was on this journey about 30 years ago now, as a young singer, dancer, actor, acrobat, like finding my way in the world. I used to sabotage every experience and opportunity that would come my way, because I didn't feel comfortable or confident in that environment. So I would just mess up all the time. And I missed out so many opportunities through actually saying no out of fear. What if I mess up? What if I don't get it right? What if I'm not perfect? We've got to come to the place in life where we feel confident in ourselves, confident in the way that we can use our voice for any task, and then that confidence can be projected to other people. Now, that has shown up in my life now. Excuse the plane. We have a plane o'clock over here. There's nothing I can do about the planes. The 2 ways that this confidence has really given me amazing opportunities have really manifested in the last couple of years. About 3 or 4 years ago now, when a producer from an American musical, Menopause the Musical, was looking for actors to do the Australian tour, I came up in the feeds. Now, just coming up in a feed, in a social media feed, you wouldn't think that would do much, but I had videos. I had links to my YouTube channel. I was active. I was present. I had a visibility or credibility across many, many different platforms, because I've said yes to myself and stood up and said, I am visible. I'm credible in my field. Because of that, I've allowed myself to be seen and heard and valued and respected. That gave me a job, which was awesome. It was a chance to get back on stage and sing and dance my way around Australia yet again. I said yes to myself. Now, recently, another wonderful opportunity came up. And again, I could have said no out of fear and out of doubt, because that muscle was a little bit underworked over the last couple of years since, the pandemic shut everything down. I was asked to do a co-starring role in an American movie. What an incredible opportunity. Basically just landed in my lap again, because I had the right type of material out in the world that they could see and find. So when people find me, opportunities open up. But if you're keeping your mouth shut, opportunities won't present themselves. I found as a young singer very early on in the piece, 30, 40 years ago, that the more I showed up, it doesn't matter how small the gig is or how insignificant it may seem at the moment, but showing up means that you've put yourself out there and somebody will see you. Somebody will ask for your card. Somebody will connect with you. Guaranteed. It's happened to me all of my life since I was 12 years old. You have to make your own opportunities. So let's dive into content today. And I'm going to be checking the comments because I've got 3 tickets to win today. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Good morning. Good morning. I can't see your name, but good morning. It's lovely to have you here. Or good afternoon if you're joining us from America on Thursday evening. Now, what we're going to do today is I'm going to cover those 3 issues that we really need to fix to make you feel more confident in your voice in any platform or on any platform. But then at the end of the live today, I'm going to give 3 tickets away to my brand new voice transformation course. Now that is launching officially next Wednesday because we've had a little bit of problems with the color grade. So I'll let everybody know that that's been delayed just a few more days. But this weekend, everybody's going to be added to the course. Super excited for this. And I'll give you a little sneak peek about what's inside the course very shortly. Now, this course is applicable to singers, actors, and speakers because let's face it, we all have a vocal instrument. If you're not using it to the best of your ability, then you're missing out on something in life. You might be missing out on a promotion. You might be attracting the wrong partner because of the way that you speak. You see, it's all connected also to our psychology, massively to our psychology. And this is why that in every course that I teach, the psychology behind the sound comes first. Now, people don't like to hear that it's a mindset or a psychological issue with voice, but I'm telling you, from 30 years or more experience of teaching and studying for decades nonstop, that most of the issues, I'd say 75% of all issues, start with a psychology and a belief system basis. From that basis, then it becomes a habitual pattern to speak or sing or act in a certain way. That can be broken, just like any habit. If you're in a habit of sitting on the couch at 9 o'clock at night and eating a whole tub of ice cream, that's a habit. Maybe you've done it for years. It's not a great habit. But you can break those habits and start new habits. And that's very much what we do inside the Voice of Confidence here. So have a listen to this for a second or have a look at what's on the screen. And I want you to think about what that brings up for you. Your voice is telling on you every single day. What on earth is it saying to the listener? Is it saying, I'm not worthy, so therefore I'll just mumble like this and keep my mouth shut? What are you saying? What is your body saying? What's your psychology saying? What's your belief system saying? What's your self-esteem saying? Your confidence? What is that telling somebody? If you, for example, are in a relationship, if you've had some anxiety or some trauma, that's stuck in the body and you'll behave in a certain way that is not really going to attract the right type of relationship for you. Those planes, my goodness, I might have to shut the window. Un momento. Not that it helps much, by the way, but at least it's something. You see, when we're in, and I've done this, believe me, I know all about these things because I've done it, I've lived it, I've transcended it, and I've moved on. Years ago, when I was labeled myself as shy and introverted, I attracted the wrong men. Those men ended up being very, very damaging to my self-esteem and ended up being very uncomfortable and unsuccessful relationships because of the way that I was showing up. Mind, body, spirit, voice. We can attract the wrong types of people if we don't speak and believe in ourselves in a confident way. We need to speak with confidence. This is why all of my programs almost are called the Voice of Confidence. I realized a long time ago that just teaching singers to become the next American Idol was not going to really change the world in a way that I wanted to. I wanted to help people change the way that they were in life, to raise their vibration, if you like, because of the way that they start to communicate. Now, we've got a lot of people jumping on, so I'd love to see your comments here. Good morning. Oh, super excited. Look, if you let us know what your name is, then I can show it on the screen and then we understand who you are. But I've got a special link for everyone, so it doesn't really matter. But it's nice to see you. It's nice to call you out by name. Milo, I love to see you here. That's so sweet. Oh, yes, I hope so too. Everyone's going to fill out a form today. We're going to put all the forms into a little barrel, press a little spinning thing, and then everybody will be notified by Wednesday when we launch. It's going to be so much fun. Great. I'm so glad that you're here. Remember, if you allow StreamYard to see your comments, then that means your name will be shown on the screen. You don't have to, but just in case you wanted to. Hello, hello. It's so nice to hear you. And Kristen, it's so great to hear you and to have you here. Nice to have you. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So let's jump over to the actual content today. The three biggest issues that people come to me, and this is one of the reasons why I started creating online courses, is because of voice issues. As a voice coach, a singer, speaker, actor, I learned a lot over my 35, 40-year career. But then after I actually graduated, after I finished my career and became a coach, I went back and studied for 10 years. And I've got 2 master's degrees. One of them is in voice production. So when you're looking for voice, fixing a voice issue, don't go to a public speaking coach because they don't have a degree in voice. They're not qualified. They might have some experience on stage and on camera or on marketing, sure, but they're not really a voice coach. They might be a speaker trainer. So if you've got a voice issue, you go to a voice coach and make sure that they're qualified. If you want to learn public speaking, if the voice coach is versed in public speaking like me, great, then you've got double whammy, 2 for the price of 1. But some coaches are very separate. They do only voice or they do only speaking. So make sure you know which one it is that you want to correct. Because here's the thing, a lot of my ESL clients need both. They absolutely need both. So I do a combo in pretty much everything that I teach. Now, but this specific course is about voice only, not public speaking. But here's the thing that I said earlier. When you feel confident about your voice, you will speak more. It's just a given. You will speak up more. You will be heard more. You will share your voice more. So the very first thing that you need to fix is a scratchy and raspy tone of voice. So that means that basically you've got some sound in the background of here. So what you're doing is you're collapsing your throat muscles or tightening your tongue and adding extra muscles that are working that don't need to be working. Let me give you an example. If I talk in vocal fry all the time, and then I was doing some sort of training video and I was trying to explain exactly how to do something, you can see that it's very hard for you to really understand what I'm saying because it's very noisy. Basically, I want you to write this down. Any distraction will stop people from listening to you. Any distraction. That's distraction in the background, distraction in your, background of what you have on screen. For example, if you're on video, if you're live and you're doing some sort of presentation, it could be too much movement. I had one of my students doing this every time he spoke. So annoying. And so all I could watch is the movement and not listen to the voice. I had another student do this when he was presenting. I was so hypnotized. I could not listen to a word he said. All distraction needs to be eliminated. It doesn't matter what the distraction is. But what I do as a holistic voice coach is work out the vocal distractions first. And then we can eliminate the other things that are extraneous noise. No big deal. So scratchy, raspy, throaty tone is basically either a combination of 2 things. One, it's usually laziness because you've never been trained. So you end up speaking like that all from the throat. And so you're getting this sort of noisy tone the whole time and everything's collapsed instead of open. So a very quick exercise, if you do this with me, imagine that these are little flaps of skin called the false vocal folds. You don't need to know the details, but if I close and let my false vocal folds collapse, I get this noisy sound. Do it with me. Hi, my name is Elisa. It doesn't sound good, and it's very distracting for the listener. You sound depressed. You sound like you don't care. It certainly doesn't sound like you want to be there. It's noise in the tone. So we need to eliminate noise in the tone by opening the throat muscles, moving those little flaps of skin out of the way called false vocal folds. Not many people know about that. And once they're moved, you have a clear sound. So let's add the noise. Let's eliminate the noise. See, now the tongue is out of the way, the throat muscles are open, and I've used my muscles to open up the pipe that allows the vocal folds to actually close and vibrate without interference. It's almost like if you were standing in a room and the walls started caving in on you, you'd end up squeezing yourself to death, right? It's exactly the same principle. If you have these muscles and your false vocal folds squeezing in towards your poor little vocal folds, your vocal folds can't move properly. They need air. They need to be pumped to move. If you had a flag that you were trying to fly to see the beautiful picture, if you have no airflow, the flag is just going to sit limp on the pole and nobody will see the picture. You have to have a big, strong breeze to pull that flag up so you can see the beautiful picture on the flag. It's exactly the same principle with voice. We need to blow that airflow in a beautiful, even way, like a breeze, to blow those flags into a beautiful mucosal wave. Then suddenly we have an open throat sound with no distraction. It's applicable to speakers, singers, and actors. So you've got to eliminate that laziness and open the throat for a clear tone. Now I go deep diving into this into the new course, so you will not ever have a voice issue again, because the course is just getting bigger than Ben-Hur, I must admit, because there's so much I've learned. I want to put everything in the kitchen sink in. That's my idea. Now the second issue, and then I'll jump back over to the comments to say hello. If you've got a question, pop it in the chat while I'm live, because I'm only going to be live for another 10 minutes or so because I've got clients this morning. Number 2 is a throaty resonance that's stuck in the throat. Now, a good example of this is someone like Tony Robbins, sorry to say, or another business coach that's very famous is Grant Cardone. Another singer like that throaty sound was what was her name? Bonnie Tyler. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Oh, Rod Stewart. So anyone who has a gravelly, forced sound, they're basically the opposite of lazy. They're trying too hard. Now, most of the people that I teach that have a throaty resonance stuck in the throat are people who are high achievers, who set a high bar for themselves. They're outgoing. They like the sound of their own voice. So they talk too much. They push, squeeze, and force their voice too much. Yeah, how's it going? They're the people at events like Tony Robbins events that lose their voice on the first or the second day. This is one of the reasons I'm a voice coach, because when I first arrived in Australia, I'd been away for 20 years. I'd arrived back in Australia about 2014. One of the first calls that I got was from a Tony Robbins coach and speaker who was losing his voice from pushing too hard. You know, these people have a very high bar and they just work too hard. So once you eliminate that, you know, the walls caving in and squeezing everything to death with way too much force, oh, it doesn't feel good at all. See, it makes you cough. It makes it feel very uncomfortable. And most of the people who use too much tension, squeeze, and force when they speak, they'll get very vocally fatigued very quickly and they'll lose their voice within an hour. Believe me, I've had clients saying to me, oh, I speak a whole hour on stage and I'm fine, but after that, I'm really tired and I can't speak for the rest of the day. Well, what do you think that we coaches have to do all day long? Teachers, politicians, motivational speakers, we speak 8 hours a day, 10, 12 hours a day. It's a big task. So if you don't know how to use your voice effectively, you're going to lose it. It's as simple as that. So with a throaty resonance that's stuck in the throat, it's not in the right place because all resonance, if you've done any acting or singing, needs to be here in the mask, very forward. When it's forward, it's easier to project rather than stuck in the throat, which is harder to project. So there's a lot at play here. There's the resonance, of course, there's the support and back pressure. There's the placement of the tongue, the opening of the throat. There's a lot to consider, including, of course, the pitch. Pitch plays a very big part. And this is why the new course is so deep dive, because people need these answers. They need to get the answers. Let's jump over to the comments and see if anyone's got questions about that so far. Hello, Kristen. Thank you for saying hello. And hey, Dre, it's nice to see you. This is one of my superstar clients. Oh my goodness, you wait. We are launching a brand new program together. I cannot wait. He is the bomb. I changed my background because you gave me a tip a couple of days ago. Stop distractions. Yes, when we're speaking in a way that disempowers us, that's a distraction. So we have to stop that distraction. But I'm so glad that you came up with that too, because that little background to me was like this. Hi, I'm Elisa James, and I'm going to teach you all about voice today. It's going to be fabulous. See, you can't listen to somebody who's giving you too many distractions. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Oh, great. You are the first person that's going to be added to my course. I'm so glad that you are here. This is one of the beautiful people that's already in the old Change Your Voice, Change Your Life course that was all about psychology behind the sound. That little piece is staying, but there's masses of other content that's being added. And I can't wait because you're the first one that's going to be added. Speak up. I'm so glad that you're here. Woohoo! It was, haha. Okay, fantastic. Let's go back over to the content. We're going to go over to number 3, and then we're going to quickly dive into it a little bit more before I give away those 3 tickets. Number 3, a soft, airy, or weak tone of voice. If you go to my channel and look at the thousands of comments on the Voice of Confidence TV, this is one of the most prevalent comments that I get. How do I fix a soft, airy, or weak tone of voice? Now, all of these that we've gone through, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, it's true, all of them have a psychological component. And this one is a big one. This one I see with a lot of women. I do see it with men, but more so with women. And especially if we've grown up, including me, in a culture that was seen and not heard. So, for example, in many cultures around the world, women are sort of held down a bit subdued. They're not allowed to speak up as much. Or culturally speaking, you don't speak up because your elders have the voice and you don't. You know, there's a lot of things that go around in the culture. But I had the same experience coming from a British culture moving to Australia. Children are seen and not heard, so you keep your mouth shut. You know, women didn't have a voice so much because we were stuck in the home washing dishes and vacuuming and taking care of babies and things and didn't have a job because that was the environment my parents and grandparents grew up with. You know, the men had the voice. They were the ones with the authority in the house. The women just did as they were told. Well, in our day and time, that is no longer applicable. I make my own life. I've made my own career. I have a voice. But it took me a long time to realize that. And when I started with this. A very soft and airy weak tone. And it was a little bit high. So when I came across a guy, it's like, hi, it's really nice to meet you. I would disempower myself ridiculously because of my psychology. Now, so I had to learn that I had to change my psychology, my mindset, my belief system. I had to build my self-esteem and confidence from the inside. And then I had to work on my voice skills. When I did all of that over a 10, 20-year period, everything changed. Now, it took me a long time. I'm a bit of a slow learner, and this is why I am a coach. I don't want you to be a slow learner. I don't want you to suffer like I did and like so many other people have. I want you to be able to get the help that you need quickly. And this is why I've started making more courses because, you know, I'm going to be dead one day, and I want people to have the help even when I'm gone. This is my legacy. Your voice, your message, your legacy, they really matter. You're here for a reason, and you've got to figure out what that reason is. If you keep your mouth shut, you're never going to find out why the reason you're here on this planet. You're here for a reason, and maybe that reason is to change the life of one person. And that one person can go on to change the lives of thousands of others. You just don't know. So don't ever think that you don't count, because you do. Your voice matters. Write it down. My voice matters. You have something to say, and that's why you're here. So let's quickly look at how I help speakers, singers, and actors with this, because these are big issues around voice that a lot of people face. And I noticed this the second that I started coming back to Australia, is that the distractions in the voice will undermine you. The patterns in the way that you speak will also undermine your authority. If you have a lack of engagement when you're speaking, if you're not engaged in your own content, or if you have a lack of enthusiasm or passion, people also won't be able to connect with you, because they won't feel you. They won't feel your vibration. They won't be able to connect in a strong way. And that means also you probably lack in charisma. Now, I've noticed on YouTube, there's a lot of people searching for charisma. Like, what is charisma? How do I get it? Well, it's not something that you go to the shop and buy. Sorry. It's something that you have to develop from the inside. And it's all connected with your confidence and your self-esteem. Because let's face it, if you turn up like a robot, where's the charisma? The only reason that you turn up like a robot or a zombie on stage, on camera, in life, is because of anxiety, depression, and undiagnosed trauma or unresolved trauma. All of those things really change the way that you speak. And this is why I started the Change Your Life, Change Your Voice, Change Your Life course in the beginning with only psychology, because people didn't get that it was really a psychological issue that needed to be addressed first. And then you need to learn the voice skills on top of that. Now, I have lots of voice programs to do that, but now this one is the starting point, and you will get the most value out of that. Let's move on to actors just very quickly, and then I'm going to jump back over to the comments and give you the link to win. Actors. A lack of resonance is a really big one. Again, if they've got something stuck in the throat, or they've got this, I hear that with a lot of actors. It's so annoying. Oh my God, you can barely understand anything that they say, and then they mumble. You're not going to get a job for lots of different roles if you speak like that. Just because you speak like that now doesn't mean that you will always speak like that. This is a false belief that I hear from my clients all the time, or rather my clients to be, or my non-clients, because once you work with me, everything changes. They say this, but my voice is my voice. This is the way I've always sounded. So if I say that about myself, I am arguing for my limitations. If I say I'm fat, that's just the way it is. I'm 20 pounds overweight. That's just the way it is. That's the way my brother said once to me. This is the way that God made me. Really? God gave you a gift. If you believe in God, just eliminate that word. If you don't, I don't care. But God gave us life. We have been given the creation, a beautiful gift of life. That's a gift. What you do with that gift is up to you. It's got nothing to do with our creator anymore, because we have a seed of potential that's born when you're born as a baby. You are pure potential. From that pure potential, your whole life will unfold in a certain way, depending on what you do every single day. If you continue to eat in a negative and self-harming way, you will end up putting on weight. If you end up speaking in a negative and undermining way, in a disempowering way, you're not going to get in life what you really want and deserve. See, your voice is not your voice. It's a muscle that can be trained. Just like this. If I go to the gym, this is going to get bigger. I've gone fuzzy. If I go to the gym, my body is going to change. My muscles are going to get bigger. When we train our voice, we get more skill and understanding and control over the way that we speak. All the time, on every platform, in every occasion. You just have to learn the skill. So these are the things that I see with actors, and being on set, I learned a lot listening to other actors. We had Australians on set and we had Americans and Canadians on set. And we had a combination of actors doing those different accents. And the resonance on set is extremely important, because if you don't speak with that projection and resonance, it's very hard for the microphone and the sound guy to pick up your sound. So they have to ramp up the sound a lot to make sure that you're being heard by the audience. So you really have to learn some voice skills even as an actor. And as a singer, these are all big issues, the same as speakers, really, and they're very similar to actors. Lack of projection, that if you sing like with lots of airflow and very airy, you'll never be able to project and have a big voice like Celine Dion, for example. You need to learn good voice skills to be able to do different things. You're not a one-trick pony. You have a multitude of things available to you if you learn how to play your instrument. If you learn how to play the piano, you don't play one note. You can't. You can't make any songs with one note. Why on earth do you think that you'd play one note with your voice? Right? It's the same principle. Lack of resonance, incorrect technique. If you force, strain, or have vocal damage, that's always due to incorrect technique. And this is one of the reasons why poor Adele has suffered through 2 voice operations, maybe even a 3rd, because she's pushing, squeezing, and forcing too much. It's true. So we need to have knowledge and skill around the voice. So let's jump over to the comments, and then I'm going to share with you the form underneath this video. Wherever you're watching, we will share the form, and all you have to do is fill in the form. It's just got name, email, and 3 questions, like what do you need help with, basically, and why you want to win the program. That's it. It'll take you less than 2 minutes to fill in the form. Hello, Rebecca. It's so nice to have you here. And Ice wants to win. Woohoo! I'm going to see that in 1 second. And Salam, nice to see you. Or Salam, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Speak up here. Hope to win a coaching ticket. Elisa, I love having you here. Thank you so much. Truth, I put on a little bit. It's the tub of ice cream on the couch, isn't it? Yeah, I know how that goes. I really wanted one last night, but I was good. I had a rice cracker. A rice cracker. Yes, because I don't want to put on weight. All right, let's go over the banner now. My beautiful assistant is going to put this link. You will see this under Facebook, under LinkedIn, and under YouTube. Now, this is the easiest way to do it, because when I'm going live on YouTube, this is the major channel that I go live on, I can't actually contact you because there's no messaging system like there is on other platforms. So this is the easiest way to do it. Now, Ice, would you please put under this, if you don't see it immediately, you will see it after we finish today. You will see the form. I guarantee that you'll see the form. Now, when you click on that link, it'll go to a form where you literally just fill in a few questions. It's super, super, super simple. It's got name, email. It's got why you want to win and what the biggest issue is that you face. Now, I'd really like to learn from people all over the world what the issues are that you're facing, because I want to put it in the course. I want to keep the course growing. And I'm also attaching a membership to that course very soon. Now, let me pop over to my video because I want to show you. Unfortunately, it's put music underneath. I'm not sure how I did that magically. I'm a bit of not a tech whiz, but I want to show you the basic rundown of the course for a sec. So have a look at this. So do you see what I mean? I've actually added a lot into the course. There's the foundational elements, which is about 10 videos that'll take you an hour or 2 to complete. all about those foundational elements. And then after that, I actually address the most common vocal faults, and there's about 5 of the major ones in there right now, with detailed MP3 like exercise video, not exercise, an MP3 that helps you understand where it comes from, why it was even created in the first place, and then how to break it. So there's always an introduction to every MP3, and then there's the next section, which is 10 to 20 minutes per MP3 to help you break that habit, to learn better habits. And I've invented specific exercises around every single issue. Now, once I start getting people, the new people into the course, and feedback from the old people that are in the old course as well, I want to know if there's anything I've missed, because there's lots of things that can go wrong with the voice, and I would love to keep adding content and value. Now, what I'm going to do this weekend, actually today it's slated on my calendar, is I'm going to go through every single module and give an example of me doing that real time with voice, so you can actually really understand what is pacing, what is pausing, what is pitch. Yes, I explained it in the video, but I want a short, easy sound bite exercise that you can download onto your phone. Because all of this, my goal is, after you've watched the entire course on video, which will take you a few hours, I want you to download everything onto your phone so you can just play it through iTunes or your Apple Android player, whatever that is. And so you can play it over and over again, because it's like a voice coach in your pocket. That's basically what it is, a voice coach in your pocket, which is awesome. So let's jump over to the comments. And then once you have filled in that form, I might have to put it in the comments. Let me have a look. I can't see that Ice has added that form. Let me grab it for a second, and I'm going to place it in the comments. Tell me, please, if it actually comes up in the comments for you on YouTube, because hopefully it should, and that hopefully should be a clickable form. Now, as soon as I'm finished with this live, I will double check all of those platforms and make sure that I place that live link under every single platform. But we have to get those forms in quickly, because the course is actually launching on Wednesday. It's going live on Wednesday next week. All the videos are being color graded at the moment. We've had a bit of issue with technical side of it, but all of that will be fixed on Monday and will be launching on Wednesday. That's my goal. Come hell or high water, I am launching this course. So if you want a part of this, you can win. Now, just a disclaimer. If you don't win, I've got a secret that I'm going to share with you, and I'll share this by email, so everybody who's on my email list will get this personal invitation. If you don't win, don't fret, because until Wednesday next week, the course will remain $27 only. That's nothing. 27 USD. That's it. In the old course, you'll be buying officially the old course. But remember, on Wednesday next week, in 4 days' time, I'm going to move everybody manually over to the new course free of charge. You won't get charged $197 to do the program. You'll get it for free. So even if you don't win, I might probably have to announce the winners on Tuesday to give you a fair go. So Monday or Tuesday. And so I'll announce the winners Monday and Tuesday and give you a chance to jump on at 27. And that way you don't have to pay for the full price. Okay, let me double check that we've got this. Yes, it looks like the Google form is in. That looks like the long version. The short version and the long version go to the same place, so don't worry about that. So much value. I love it. Mr. Dre and I are partners in crime. We're going to do some wonderful things later on in the year. It's already in all the different platforms. Okay, fantastic. You see the form? Okay, awesome. It's so nice to see you. Okay, fantastic. So everybody looks like they've got that form. So I've got to sign off because I've got a client and I've got to run. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm 𝐬𝐨𝐻, your friendly neighborhood voice coach. I will see you next time, and I can't wait to see you in the brand new course, Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. I'll see you next week. Bye.